Hello, good morning.
Oh.
My name is Linza Smith, and I'm a licensed practitioner. And I'm going to be doing a meditation this morning. This quote is from His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Realizing that the other person is also just like me is the basis on which we can develop compassion, not only toward those around us, but also toward our enemy. Normally, when we think about our enemy, we think about harming him. Instead, try to remember that the enemy is also a human being, just like you. The meditation that we will be doing today is done by you visualizing in your own mind a friend, a colleague, a neutral person, or even a difficult person. Visualize the meditation that we will be doing today. Okay, let's start over. Visualize that this person in front of you, they are another human being. Visualize that, just like you. Then, I want you to silently repeat each of the phrases that I will be saying while looking at and seeing in your mind's eye that that person is in front of you. Okay, so please repeat after me. This person has a body and a mind, just like me.
This person has a body and a mind, just like me.
This person has feelings, emotions, and thoughts, just like me.
This person has feelings and emotions and thoughts, just like me.
This person has experienced physical and emotional pain and suffering, just like me.
This person has experienced physical and emotional pain, just like me.
This person has at some time been sad, disappointed, angry, or hurt, just like me.
This person has been sad and just like me.
This person has felt unworthy or inadequate, just like me.
This person has felt and just like me.
This person worries and is frightened sometimes, just like me.
This person is worried and frightened sometimes, just like me.
This person will die, just like me.
This person will die, just like me.
This person has longed for friendship, just like me.
This person has longed for friendship, just like me.
This person is learning about life, just like me.
This person is learning about life, just like me.
This person wants to be caring and kind to others, just like me.
This person wants to be caring and kind, just like me.
This person wants to be content with what life has given them, just like me.
This person wants to be content with what life has given them, just like me.
This person wishes to be free from pain and suffering, just like me.
This person wishes to be free from pain and suffering, just like me.
This person wishes to be safe and healthy, just like me.
This person wishes to be safe and healthy.
This person wishes to be happy, just like me.
This person wishes to be happy, just like me.
This person wishes to be loved, just like me.
This person wishes to be loved, just like me.
Now, I would like you to allow the wishes and the desire for well-being to arise within you. Then, please repeat after me. I wish this person to have the strength, resources, and social support that they need to navigate the difficulties in life with ease.
I know that this person has everything they need. Sorry.
I wish this person to be free from pain and suffering.
I know this person to be free from pain and suffering.
I wish this person to be peaceful and happy.
This person to be peaceful and happy.
I wish this person to be loved, because this person is a fellow human being just like me. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to this morning's service. My name is Reverend Catherine Bliss, and we are live here on Facebook from Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Dayton. So we would like to start, if you would, with our mission statement, and if you would kindly repeat that after me, that would be wonderful. We awaken to the spiritual magnificence of ourselves and our planet.
We awaken to the spiritual magnificence of ourselves and our planet.
We are a community of love that supports all people in experiencing real transformation.
We are a community of love that supports all people in experience.
Real transformation.
Mission.
And we transform the world.
And we transform the world.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Wonderful.
I'd like to thank our practitioner, Linza, for the meditation this morning and for holding high watch for our service today. And I want you to know that practitioners are available for prayer, and we'll give you a little bit more information about that a little bit later in the service. But we do want you to know that practitioners are here. We will pray with you. It is our privilege and it is what we do. So we want to make sure that you get your prayers answered, and one way to get them answered is to ask for them. So please do that. And now we're going to do our candle lighting portion of this morning. So I welcome back Linza.
The first candle that we light this morning, is the Tao of Freedom. The Tao of Freedom is gifting ourselves the ability to live freely while at the same time bringing this truth to others. The second candle, from the Buddha, we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. The third candle, in Hinduism, moksha is liberation, the soul's release from the cycle of death and rebirth. It occurs when the soul unites with Brahman by realizing its true nature. The next candle. In Islam, freedom is a reality, and it is a reality that has degrees. The closer people move to God, the freer they become. The next candle, from the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. The all-knowing mind contains the answer to every problem which confronts us. Each is impelled to act upon this knowledge to the end that abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. The sixth candle, Judaism. The true essence of God is above as well as below, in the heavens and on earth, and nothing exists outside of him. The seventh and the last candle. As a Quaker, Parker J. Palmer says, we must be intentional about exploring the real issues of our lives: faith and fear, hope and despair, love and hate, among others. But our explorations must be invitational, giving everyone the freedom to engage those issues in his or her own way. Today's reading. The essence of Science of Mind is responsibility and action. When you know the divine truth that we are all one and part of the same God, you understand that if that is true, then we will all have the same freedom and responsibilities. When we pray and do treatment, we often use the expression, treat and move your feet, because we know that treatment requires action, either physical or mental. Please, if you will, take a few moments to go into the silence with me. Oh, what a wonderful, blessed day this is. A day of freedom, peace, and love. I'm knowing that this service is a divine service, that this service is divinely orchestrated, that everyone here listening to this service, everyone here observing this service is blessed, that these blessings go forth and each and every person's heart is filled with the love and the blessing that is within them, and they feel it deeply. I'm knowing that Reverend Linda is divinely guided and directed and inspired, and that her talk this morning is an inspiration, is an uplifting, powerful speech that enlightens and gives support and encouragement to all who hear it. I'm knowing that everyone here participating in this service is blessed. I'm knowing that all is well, all is in divine right order, and I give thanks. And so be it, and so it is.
So it is.
Yes.
So we have a wonderful speaker with us here today. I am going to take it off. Reverend Linda Ketchum, who is a founding minister of Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Dayton, or she founded that center and is, of course, now she's Cincinnati. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Greater Dayton. I meant Greater Cincinnati. She was introduced to religious science right here at the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Dayton. That's where I was going to go with that. In the 1990s, and served as an active member and practitioner until she became a licensed minister and founded the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Cincinnati in 2003. Reverend Linda loves teaching science of mind principles, especially the power of forgiveness. She loves seeing what she calls the light bulb moments when students get the principles that she and we teach. Reverend Linda retired as a pulpit minister in 2015 and now enjoys creating and performing wedding ceremonies for wonderful couples in and around the area where she lives. And she lives in the Troy area with her husband Bill, and she has 2 daughters, 5 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandson, and will soon to be having another great-grandson in October. So with that, would you please help me welcome Reverend Linda?
Thank you, Reverend Catherine, and thank you for inviting me to be here today. I am a religious science minister and have been for 18 years, as Reverend Catherine said. And I'm very proud to be a religious science minister. And one of the reasons that I am so proud of our denomination, Centers for Spiritual Living, as we shown with the candle lighting earlier, we honor all paths to God. Our mission, our statement as a denomination is a world that works for everyone. We truly believe that the world should work for everyone. And you may have noticed in the news lately that's not necessarily true. And many of us have noticed that many times throughout our lives, that the world does not work for everyone, and in many cases it does not work for us individually in various ways. Today we're looking at free at last. Free at last were the last words of Dr. Martin Luther King's speech, I Have a Dream, where he dreamed that the world would actually work for his children, where he dreamed that people would actually get along and work together and love each other and honor each other, where people had the freedom to be who they are. Freedom is a divine right given each one of us by God. And with it comes not only freedom for each one of us, but the responsibility of how we live that freedom and how we project it onto others. Freedom, as defined in the New Thought Dictionary, is the necessary ability of choice and choosing actions as a law of cause and effect, carrying it with it the liabilities of its selectivity. Many years ago, when I was about 10 or 11, I did a 4-H talk based on Patrick Henry's Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death. And in that talk, and the only thing I remember about any talk I gave as a 4-H member, and I gave a lot of them, was the definition of freedom in that talk. And the definition of freedom in that talk was the ability to do anything we wanted to and desired, as long as it did not impede on the rights of others. And I can't tell you how many years that statement made me mad. Because I went through life for probably 30 years wondering, what in the world can I do that does not somehow impact the right of someone else? But what that sentence meant, and what this definition in the New Thought Dictionary actually means, is that we have freedom to make choices. And it is our responsibility to make responsible choices. We have chosen here today to wear our mask when we are not speaking. As you can see, people sitting here today with their mask on. We make the choice to wear our mask when we are out in public. And we can also choose not to judge others who do not make that same choice. I'm working on that one. Hopefully you have gotten there. I haven't. I will admit to having just a tad bit of resentment to when I walk in a store And the only other people wearing a mask in the store are the people who work there. Now, we won't talk about how they're wearing their mask. That's another issue. But we have the right to make that choice. And as a responsible adult, we are to make that choice. Because when we choose to wear a mask, it's not so much about protecting us as it is we are choosing to protect those around us. We are making a choice to be free of causing someone else to be ill. And as a person who hits that level of people who need to watch out, I really appreciate people who are out there taking care of me. Because sometimes I need to get all the help I can get. Ernest Holmes said in the Science of Mind textbook, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. All feel this. We all feel it. We feel it at the level of our being. The true point of freedom under law. The truth points to freedom under law. Thus, the inherent nature of man is forever seeking to express itself in the terms of freedom. I truly believe and teach that it is all God. That every being on this planet, every creature on this planet, everything that makes up this planet, the solar system, and anything else that is out there that we don't know about, is God expressing through and as whatever that creation is. I see every single one of us as a droplet of God's stuff. Every fiber of our being is God expressing absolutely perfectly. We are all God, but God is much more than we can even imagine. So if I am God expressing absolutely perfectly, and I believe every person on this planet is God expressing absolutely perfectly, that does not mean just because Kenny is a man and a wonderful musician that he is any more perfect than any of the rest of us. We are all equal because we are all God expressing in every fiber of our being. And the question becomes, how do we allow this perfection that is God to be expressed through and as every one of us? God created us with free choice, which sounds real good until you start making those choices. And we have to make those choices consciously. We have to choose to acknowledge that everyone else is equal to us. That they have the same ability and the same rights to the same freedoms that we do. We can choose to go out and protest the injustices that are being done by some of our policemen, by some of our communities. And we can protest it in a peaceful and honest way. But when it turns into a riot and it destroys the way people make their living and hurts other people and gets people killed, we have the choice to do that. We can make that choice, but it is not one that allows someone else their freedom. That business owner, their freedom to open their doors the next day. That human being, the right to go home to their families without being hurt or killed or injured in some way. We have that divine ability to make a choice. And we must live with the choices we make. Society makes rules that help us, guide us to make choices that are better for each one of us. And we It's to our best to honor those choices. Holmes also says in the Science of Mind textbook, freedom of will means the ability to do, say, and think as one wishes, to express life as one desires, to be able merely to think and dream of freedom. But as I said before, freedom is more than just the freedom to do anything we want. All of us probably at one time or another have seen, let's say, like a 2-year-old toddler, just learning to get around really good. And they find the world an exciting and wonderful place to be. And they're wanting to touch and feel and taste everything there is. Unfortunately, there are things out there that are not good for them. And there are things out there that they are not good for. So we have to bring them in to where they understand that it is not a good thing to eat the dog's food or other things that dogs might do, or the cats, or to break their grandmother's favorite glass or something like that. They have to learn to make better choices. And we have to guide them, direct them to make those choices. We as human beings, on an individual level, learn to make those choices. I think that we are at a place in not only the society of this country, but of the world and of cultures, where we have to learn at a cultural level and a societal level the choices that we can make and the things that we can do. That we have to move beyond the choices that were made 200 years ago and even before that, and move into a place where we accept and understand that everyone has the freedom of choice. And it doesn't matter what color their skin is, what sex they are, what sexual orientation they are, how much they weigh, how tall they are, whether they're a man or a woman, or anything else. Each one of us is the divine expressing absolutely perfectly. And we have the right given to us by that to make the choices that are best for us. And it is not the responsibility of our society or our culture or anyone else to keep us from experiencing and making those choices. And as a society, each one of us is responsible and is called to action to see that as a society and a culture and a nation, we begin and continue to make the better choices that allow everyone to have those rights and to do whatever it takes to have those rights. I made a choice yesterday. I made a choice to take an apple fritter out of the freezer and put it in the microwave and eat it. That was my choice. Unfortunately, my body's responsibility was to pack the pounds on my body. And unfortunately, the way that I have dealt or not dealt with COVID seems to be eating everything that doesn't run away with me. It's my choice to do it. And now it's my choice if I continue. Am I happy with the results? No. Have I been willing to make a choice to do something different? No. Am I working on making that choice? Maybe. I'd like to say yes, but I'm not sure it's true. And I know it's a choice that in the very near future I will make. And as a society, we are in the same place. Do we continue to make choices that are not good for us as a country, good for us as a people, good for us as a world leader, to continue to do things to groups of people just because they're not exactly like us? This will this will really tell you how old I am. Back in the original Star Trek, and I think it may have even been in black and white, there was an episode where the Enterprise picked up a guy in space who had half of his face black. Let's say the left side of his face was black, the white side of his face was white. And he was running, and I think he even asked for political asylum. We will say he asked for political asylum. Shortly after that, someone shows up looking for him. His face is white on this side and black on this side. And the whole show is about the second guy trying to explain why the first guy is so different. And I would bet that anyone listening to me right now can see how absurd that was. Just because one side of the guy's face was black and the other guy's face was black on the other side made him wrong, made him different, made him unacceptable. So what is the difference in our culture if someone has a different colored skin than we do? If someone has a different religion, a different sex, a different sexual preference? What is the religion? To me, it is absolutely as ridiculous as that Star Trek show. And it's been a long time since I saw that episode, but it made a real impact on me. And made me truly see how we can let our perceptions really mess up how we look at something and not even realize it. I had a friend, one of my former congregants, who wrote a article that was in the letters to the editor in the Wilmington paper this week. And it was called Evolve Beyond Prejudice and Inequality. And he talks about growing up, as he put it, in a lily white part of Chicago. And believe me, you could not grow up in a more lily white area than I grew up. I didn't meet my first Republican until I was in college, or my first Catholic. There were no blacks in my school. The blacks in the county, in the town closest to me, I can remember asking my mother as we drove by the area of town where the blacks lived in my community, why their cars were bigger than their houses. And I can't remember her answer, but I can remember the feeling I got from her. And it was shame. And the reason part of it was that was the only place the blacks were allowed to live in that town. And they could afford something better, so they drove around in a bigger car. How narrow-minded is that? That is no longer true in that area, I'm happy to say. Is it perfect? No. Is it better? Somewhat. Can it be a whole lot better? Yes. My sister and I brought home a friend from college who was from, I think we brought home actually a black friend, and my mother had to spend 6 weeks telling my dad and my uncle that if they made any derogatory remarks that they would be in really big trouble. And then I married a man who was 7/8 Indian. And I let my mother deal with that one too. But I will say that when I divorced him and changed my name back to my maiden name, my dad was very happy. But, you know, we do things, and I'm very happy that my mother didn't allow me to adopt some of the prejudice that were so much a part of the area that I grew up in. That was very Southern in the way it looked at so many things. I'm very glad that I choose not to judge someone by the color of their skin. or however they're different from me. And I hope that they don't judge me in the same way. It's not always easy to live in this society. It's not always easy to make the right choices. But it is time to make the right choices. We cannot separate ourselves without losing something of our essence. And every time we separate ourselves from someone else based on their appearance, their beliefs, or anything else, we are limiting and making ourselves smaller, maybe even more than we're making them. Freedom is the ability to take full advantage of the power of choice. Rosa Parks once said, "I would like to be remembered as a person who wanted to be free so that other people would also be free." I ask each one of you today to be free yourselves, and in your level of freedom, to allow those around you to be free. And as we move to greater acceptance of every being on this planet, we allow the entire planet to embrace that freedom and to truly allow everyone to be free. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, free, free at last. Thank God, free at last. Please join me in prayer. Mother, Father God, we take this moment to celebrate the power, the passion, the wisdom, the wholeness, the oneness, the freedom that is God, that is Spirit. That is the truth of the day for every being on this planet. We embody, we embrace, we celebrate this freedom. We celebrate who we are as God expressing absolutely perfectly. Each one of us is that divine freedom, that divine love, that divine joy that is God expressing through every fiber, every cell, every tissue of our being. And we celebrate it, we express it, and we see it expressed through this world, through this community, and through every being. No matter who they are, how they look, what they believe, whatever, we know that free choice allows freedom to be the choice for each one of us. We choose not only the freedom, but we choose the responsibility that goes with it, and we embody it and we embrace it. We bless this community. We bless Reverend Cece, Reverend Molly, and Mark, knowing his full recovery and ease of movement is the truth of the day for him in this moment and every moment. We give thanks for this community. We give thanks for this time together. We give thanks for knowing the oneness of God and the freedom that it allows each one of us. And knowing it is good and knowing it is done. In gratitude and thanksgiving, I say thank you, God, and so it is.
So it is.
Yes, wherever I am, God is. So now it's the time for our conscious giving. And what I would like to say to you about that is that you have done a fabulous job. Our financials just came in for June, and we are just about even Steven. So thank you. Thank you for all that you give, for all that you are, and for making us be a prosperous community. I love that. And so just know that right now in this time of giving, please give from that place of joy. It is the joy that expands. It is the joy and giving from that place that brings more to you as you give that joy. It is expansive, like way expansive. So right now, just take your gift in your mind's eye, in your heart, and just bless it. Bless it with love. Bless it with joy. Whatever that amount is, know that it is enough and that it is good and that it is given out of absolute peace and joy and love of this spiritual community as it goes about doing the work that it does, not only in the larger community, but out into the world. For when we're doing this stuff online, guess what? They can hear this now way out in the other end of the country now, Kitty.
I know.
Yeah, so
And
please.
out of the country.
Sorry?
And out of the country.
And out of the country, beyond and out and all over the world. So please know that your gift is important. We appreciate it. We love you and we do miss you. We miss you very much. We would love to be able to give you hugs and all of that. And one day it will come back. So the longing for that is in my heart and in my soul. Now, take your gift, place it over your heart and hand. With me, money flows freely and abundantly into my life.
Money flows freely and abundantly into my life.
Yeah. Wealth is my birthright,
Wealth is my birthright,
my natural state of being,
my natural state of being.
and I am abundant.
I am abundant.
Thank you. All right. Now, practitioner emeritus Linza.
All right, now for a few announcements. If you have talent regarding video streaming and/or would like to volunteer, please reach out to Reverend Catherine and leave a message. Her phone number is 614-506-4261. Also, please join us on Zoom Tuesday mornings and Thursday evenings for Community Connection. You can also Zoom into the Science of Mind 101 class with Practitioner Emeritus Marge Russell on Sunday mornings from 9:30 to 10:20 a.m. Information for these Zoom events are available on Facebook and through our weekly e-newsletter. If you would like prayer, our prayer line number is 937-297-0366. Or, if you would like, you could text 937-231-8104. You can also request prayer on our website. Our website is cslgd.org. That's the news for today.
So I would just like to thank, first of all, Reverend Linda for your wonderful talk today.
Yay.
Perfect timing for us in our lives and in our country. I'd also like to thank Sarah and Kenny for the uplifting music once again. Thank you. And of course, our practitioner emeritus, Linza. And a special thanks to you. If you are here for the first time with us on Facebook Live, we just would love to welcome you. We're glad you're here. We know you have many choices, like in the airlines. You can go to many different places, and I hope you do, but I hope you come here first and foremost. So please visit our website at cslgd.org for previous messages, as well as events that are going on. We have a calendar up there and classes. Thank you for choosing to join us this morning. And now for our closing affirmation, and then Kitty's going to rock us out of here. I know and I live in divine freedom.
I know and I live in divine freedom.
And every day I take action
And every day I take action
to share that freedom with the world.
to share that freedom with the world.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Yay.